Hello, I'm Cheryl and welcome to my sewing room. I'm going to demonstrate how to make a sewing machine organizer, which probably many of you can use, especially if you have a very little space to sew in. So let's look at this wonderful, really pretty organizer. Okay, now on here, up here at the top, I have selected some fabric that has a sewing machine theme. It's got tape measures all over it. So on this part of it is where the sewing machine sits. And it's got 8 pockets here, okay? All right, now when you have this at the edge of your table, this part here hangs over the edge of the table, and you can just put your most used items that you like at your sewing machine in there. Okay? All right, so let's look at the cutting instructions for this. Now, if you have a cell phone, put the video on pause and take a snapshot of this so that you know what you need to have cut out. Now, the fabric for the top, the bottom, and the cotton batting are all cut the same size, 16 by 19 inches. For the upper pocket, 11 inches by 19. Lower pocket, 8 inches by 19. The cotton batting for the upper pocket is 5 3/8 by 19. Lower pocket, 3 7/8 by 19. You'll also need 2 strips of binding. Now, if you don't know how to cut your binding strips, watch my video straight grain binding and make them 3 inches wide, okay? Then you're going to need 2 pieces of ribbon that are about 19 inches wide, long I mean, 1.5 to 1 inches wide. Okay, and also, this is real important, use a walking foot or walking presser foot for this particular project. It's going to make it a lot easier for you. Okay, so that's all you need for that. Now, take your top and bottom fabric and your cotton batting and you're going to layer them. So put your bottom fabric down first, then your batting, and then your top fabric. Then place pins all over it because we're going to do some top stitching. Now, this is the walking foot, okay? If you don't have one, it's going to be hard to do this project because we're going to be working through a lot of layers of fabric and it will make it a lot easier for you. So it's worth the investment. You will use it a lot, okay? All right, as far as the stitching goes, it's just a really simple pattern, nothing really difficult at all. You're just going to go straight across your organizer. So find your center, always start in your center, and start here and go all the way to the other side. Then go over 2 inches and do the same thing. And 2 inches again. And keep going across 2 inches apart. Then go over to the other side and do the same thing, 2 inches apart, okay? And that's all you need to do as far as your decorative top stitching. Okay, now take your fabric for the pockets, okay? And both pockets are assembled the same way. So, take your pocket fabrics and fold it in half and press it with your iron. Then open it up and take your cotton batting and lay it in there, okay? And fold it back in half, okay? Now take one of your ribbon strips and place it on the folded line, the folded edge, folded edge, and pin it down. Then you're going to stitch on the upper edge of the ribbon all the way across, and then come back and stitch on the lower edge of the ribbon all the way across, and put the ribbon on both of your pockets fabrics. Okay? All right, now take your bottom piece and take your upper pocket and lay it down first, and line it up on your 3 edges there. Okay? Then take your upper pocket, bottom pocket, and also line it up on the lower edge. Okay, now you're going to notice it's really thick. Okay, we got a lot going on here. So if you have these quilting clips like this, you can get them at fabric and craft stores, and I got mine at a discount store, and just clip your these pockets on there. It'll make it a lot easier than using straight pins. Then take a ruler, find your center mark, and put a pin there. Then go over 4.5 inches and place a pin, and do the same thing on the other side. 4.5 inches over and place another pin. So you have 3 pins up here. Now this is the area where you're going to stitch to secure the pockets. So start on one side and stitch straight down to the lower edge. Go through this twice with your sewing machine because you want it nice and secured. And then go over here and down the center, do the same thing, and then on the third one. So now your pockets are stitched on. Okay? Now you're going to take your binding strip, 2 strips I should say, and you're going to stitch the edges together, the 2 ends. Okay? Do a 1/4 inch seam, press it open, then fold your binding strip in half and press it the full length all the way down. Okay? Then take your binding and place it one end on the upper edge somewhere in the middle. Okay? And then go over about 4 inches and place your first pin and continue pinning across. Now you're going to begin stitching, and you're going to do a 1/2 inch seam from this raw edge here. So start here and stitch over towards the corner. And when you get a 1/2 inch away from this side here, stop, leave your needle down, press her foot up, turn your organizer and stitch at a 45-degree angle right into this corner. Okay? Then take it out of your machine and bring your binding straight out like this, so that this edge is in alignment with this edge here. Then hold it down, fold it over, and have the fold line on the raw edge here, and line up along this other raw edge. Continue pinning, and then go ahead and start stitching again from this fold line, your 1/2 inch seam, all the way down that side. Continue around the entire organizer, and every time you come to a corner, do this. All right, now you've come around your last corner, and you want to bring your 2 ends together. So you're going to overlap your ends by about a 1/2 inch, and then cut the excess off. Then you're going to stitch the ends together. So open up both ends, bringing right sides together. It's easier if you fold your organizer in half, bringing those ends together. Pin and stitch a 1/4 inch seam. Finger press the seam open, fold it back, finish pinning it down, and stitch your last side. Okay? Now you want to turn it over onto the back. And fold your binding over the edge. And you're going to begin pinning it on the back. So I'm going to start in a corner. So take the fold line of the binding and bring it past the stitch line. Then pin it down. Then go to the other side and pin and stitch it down. Okay, now to get rid of this bump, you want to press, let me turn this a little bit. You want to press down and in, pulling it towards this corner, fold it over, and then pin it down. Okay? Do this at all 4 corners and finish pinning all the way down, all your binding all the way around. Then the last thing you need to do is stitch in the ditch. And that's where 2 pieces of fabric come together, and here's the ditch right along here. So start in one corner and stitch across to the other corner. When you get to this corner, leave your needle down, press your foot up, and continue stitching along the other side. Go all the way around the entire organizer and always leave your needle down, press your foot up when you turn your corners. Now let's just look at a few items that you can put in this organizer. Okay, all kinds of stuff. Always have tweezers at your sewing machine. You'd be surprised what you can use. Pins, extra feet and tools for the sewing machine, rulers, don't forget bobbins, sewing machine needles. Okay, all of this can go in there. So you have 8 pockets and lots of stuff. Okay, well, I hope that this was helpful to you. My next video will be a follow-up to this one, and you're going to learn how to make the matching sewing machine cover, and it's really, really cute. Now, to keep informed on all my future videos, click on one of my subscribe buttons. There's been one down there in the right-hand corner, lower corner, floating around. It's red, it says subscribe. Towards the end of the video, you might see my face floating around here in the upper left corner. Either one of those you can click on. They're both subscribe buttons. Enter your email address, and the next time I have a new video, YouTube sends you an email with a big button in the center. You click on it and it takes you directly to my next video. I'm Cheryl. I'm really glad you came to my sewing room. Now see you next time, and happy sewing.